2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40, before being taken down. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Hey, you block over here. Hey, 88. Hey, exit.
From the 38, Rodgers. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The target that time, Michael Thomas. 3rd down here.
319. Just have it now. Live. Back. Hey, Delta.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Hey, Haywood.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. That's caught. It's Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a give, right side. It's Carson, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Flush to his right. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
First down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Check tight.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Jump out!
On play action, Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
And they turned the pick six into a pick 8 with that two-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now Rodgers to try again after the pick six. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
On second down, Kamara. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd and 18.
Come on, D. Tight as Ringo.
26.
Tight as on Ringo. 4
Bravo.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing on second down. Wilson. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a 1st down. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards.
Push left, push left. 4-7's the mic, 4-7's the mic. Ricky. He's coming. We got double up.
They run again with Carson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
Brings up 3rd and 13.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, 83 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara. And that takes us from second to third down.
Hey, take 26.
Here's Rodgers operating from the gun. And he finds Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. On first down, Rodgers looking long for Thomas. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for the Saints. 52 yards.
50 to Mike. 50 to Mike. Here we go. Here we go.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Throwing now is Rodgers. Incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now it's Rodgers. That'll be complete to Cook. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch the pass.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
Let's go.
Jay, Charlie.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And it is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Seahawks able to come up with a goal line stand. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On second down now. It's Carson, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, and now it's 1st and 10. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guy.
Now Carson fumbles the football, and this is picked up by the Saints. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic. And my goodness, another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. After the interception, here's Wilson. And they got the hook up. This is Olsen. And they'll get him down up past the 15. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17.
Alert! 43 is the mic, boys. 43. Check it.
Here's Carson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
From the 35 on second down, Wilson dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep. It's caught at the 10. And finally out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 55 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To try again after the sack. Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
4 down.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They run for it with Carson. And not only will he not get in, he's going to lose yardage. They stuff him back at the 4. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Check 30.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Foot, 43. Check, 43. Hey, tighten down. There you go.
On the delay, here's Carson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Makes it 3rd and 1.
#380. March 43. Let's go.
So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Seahawks, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1 and 5 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.